All right, so in case some of you are super confused about what the heck is going on here.
Sitting on the toilet right now. Time is today, and what we have is this. So we're gonna do the best we can.
It died?
Yeah, I'm not feeling like there's any way that we're gonna get both of these out of here.
Right now, if we put this piece of wood into the boat, it's just gonna be all messed up.
Cut to the solution to our problem.
Well, that was entertaining. Good morning, guys. Today we are attacking the Nook bulkheads. So if you guys remember, for the last, 8-9 years, the Nook has been such a key feature in our boat. It was our guest room, it was our dining table, it was our living room.
Work surface,
everything.
yoga studio.
It was just such an awesome blank space that we could just do whatever we wanted on, especially that the boat is so small that we needed a space that we could convert it into anything. So we're definitely keeping the Nook. And
it's gonna be here.
Yeah, it's gonna be here. In the last boat, in our previous boat, the Nook was on the other side, so it was on the port side of the boat. And because we're changing the whole layout, the galley is gonna be a U-shaped galley, which allows us to have the Nook on the starboard side.
Exactly. So, and rather than a water tank being underneath it, we're 97.5% sure that our batteries are going to be underneath it, because then they're going to be centralized. That weight's always going to be here, rather than water tanks, which are always like constantly fluctuating. It's going to be like a uniform amount of weight in the middle, low down under the water line, and then the water tanks are going to be somewhere else. That's what we're working on today. It's not going to be difficult. There's only 2 little bulkheads to put in. It's just a matter of lining everything up and making sure it's all perfect, and then glassing it in.
But in order to start working here, we have to move our
janky work surface.
Our work surface that I just touched. Now my fingers are covered in resin.
It's been sort of perched over there for the last couple of weeks while we've been working on the galley. And now we're going to move that surface into the galley so we can cook.
We can actually cook the resin in the galley. That makes sense. Yeah, because you do the work, but you also need a surface to prep everything for the work. So now that we need to work here.
It's getting nicer though, because now we have surfaces to work on, and we also have things to wedge ourselves up against while we're working, and we have reference points to line things up to. We're not just sort of making up in the middle of a void. So it's starting to come along easier. And we've also done all the big bulkheads, and now we're starting to do all small ones.
Yeah, she really is starting to feel like actual space that you can live on. Well, not now, but she's starting to.
Starting to look like something, which is pretty cool.
All right, let's get to work.
We can just cut to this size, and then just kind of hack this one down until it fits. Until it fits close enough here that we can just trace it with a Sharpie and then cut with a jigsaw. Yeah. Cool. All right, easy. Yeah, we can just do 2 of these. we also got a thing.
What is that thing?
This is a resurfacing tool. It has a big giant drum on it with a flapper disc of 80 grit. This one has a vacuum cleaner hookup. We're gonna give it a try and hook the vacuum up to it, and hopefully it keeps the dust down. It's definitely gonna save time when we get out on deck and start taking all the cubic grip off. And it's gonna keep the air cleaner, which I'm sure the shipyard's gonna like. We'll see how it works. Initial consensus. Works okay. It was about what I expected because it's like a big flat surface. It's difficult for it to get like down in all the little pits and contours of the glass. But it also has a pretty big area on each side of border that you can't sand with. It definitely saved a little bit of time compared to the orbital sander. That and then this file sander works well. It definitely keeps the dust down having a vacuum hookup on the back of it. All right, well, I just finished glassing in the lower half of the Nook bulkheads. I'm gonna let those cure for the rest of the day and call it quits. The yard's about to close. And we've got one more big bulkhead to do and then a couple of smaller ones, and then we'll be done glassing in the secondary bulkheads. So we're making really good progress. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Good morning, everyone. It is bright and early, and Den is finishing up our smoothies, and we're going to get ready to head over to the yard. But before we go, I just want to take a minute to answer one question that you guys asked a lot over the years.
Don't make fun.
Really? This is what we're doing?
We get this question all the time, actually. Like, how do you guys stay fit? And I guess people
We've
think
never
we're
really
fit.
answered the question, to be honest. And I know that we're not sailing right now. But we've been living on our truck for almost a year now, full time.
Yeah.
And we realized that the life on the truck and the life on the sailboat is pretty much the same lifestyle.
Yeah, we're still living outside and we try to stay as active as we can, but honestly, we just work a lot.
We love being outdoors, and so we go on hikes. I do silks sometimes, like once every 4 years.
Yeah, and once every 4 years we go rock climbing. Those aren't really consistent activities. Those are just like fun things we do on the weekends.
The thing is, we've always wanted to work out. I love working out, but we both have ADHD, and with that, if you know about ADHD, then you know that keeping the motivation to do something for a long period of time is extremely hard.
It's one of those things that always just gets pushed to the back burner, and we never sort of like have time.
We've tried to download all these fitness apps, and I've downloaded a dozen of YouTube workout videos, and the problem is I tend to overestimate my abilities when it comes to working out. So I download the hardest stuff, and then I go hard for a couple of days, and then I crash. And then I give up. When Trainwell, formerly known as Copilot, reached out to us and asked us to try their platform for a while, we honestly thought it was going to be the same thing, and we're just going to try for a few days, and then the motivation wouldn't be there, and then we would give up. But we've been consistently working out for over a month now, and we haven't missed a single day. And I don't know how we have.
That's the first time since high school that I've worked out that long.
So we are over the moon that Trainwell agreed to sponsor this video. If you don't know what it is, Trainwell is a platform that matches you with your own personal trainer, and that trainer guides you through your fitness journey and customize specific workouts that are meant for your needs. Either you are recovering from an injury or you just want to have your summer bod back. Like everything is tailored to you.
You get to jump on a call with your trainer and go over like, you know, your fitness goals and your fitness level. And, you know, for us, we don't have any workout equipment. And so it's all just body weight stuff. But our trainer, Rod, was able to put together multiple different workouts for us throughout the week that all just sort of work to our skills, and they don't kill us at the end of them. So because we still do have to go to the boat and do a bunch of work, and we don't want to be like completely dead. So they're lighter, but they definitely like get us up and moving and stretched out and warmed up and ready to start the day.
Normally it's like a one coach to one person thing.
But we're one person.
We are one person. We work out together. And so Rod is amazing. So he customizes both of our workouts to be pretty much the exact same.
It's more fun that way, because then we can be like, we can both be doing 15 push-ups and be like, one more, and we can both count, or one of us counts while one of us doesn't count.
And I don't count, so I rely on his counting.
At the end of each workout, you can submit the workout and you can comment and critique on like each individual set, each individual exercise.
Great job. Let me know how that felt. You can give your feedback by tapping on my image with the dumbbell icon.
And then your coach will swap in and out and kind of customize it to work to your exact body.
Yeah. One more thing is Rod knows exactly what we're doing because it syncs to our watches as well. And it's basically live updates him as we go through the workout. And if you're slacking or you're going too fast, it'll tell you. It will hear Rod's voice saying like, slow down, you're going too fast.
Yeah.
Slow down.
And if you're like me and you forget your watch or you lose your watch or you forget to charge your watch.
You ready to work out?
My watch is dead.
Are you ready? We're working out this morning.
I can't find my watch. Then you can also still use your phone. You have to manually press when you complete the workout as opposed to your watch actually can analyze your motions so it knows when you're done.
But you also don't get like the heart rate monitor and all that stuff.
But you can still use just a phone if you don't have an Apple Watch.
There's not a lot of hiccups to like keeping you in the sort of flow state of a workout. It's very smooth and you just run through it. So it's very easy to just consistently do it.
But I think the secret sauce of
the real
this
magic
whole
is why I've
platform,
actually been working out for a month.
It's accountability.
Yeah.
Our trainer will know that if we're not working out or if we're late, and sometimes because we're in a different time zone, so we work out in the morning, and when he wakes up in the morning in the US, he can see that we've worked out. So if we miss a workout in the morning, we'll see a little message from Russ saying like, hey guys, is everything okay? I haven't seen a log from you. At least for us, it works much.
It's like just the right amount of accountability and motivation with like that little tiny bit of like shame of letting somebody down if you don't do it. It's the right amount to like keep us motivated.
And since we basically live on the ocean or as close to the ocean as physically possible, after we're done with the workout, we go and jump in the water and really just cool off and get ready for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's a fantastic way to start the morning and keeps us energized. And then, pack up the truck, drive off, and get to the yard right when it opens, and then start our morning boat work.
So guys, if you want to try it out, Trainwell is giving away 14 days for free with your very own trainer. Just make sure you use our special code down below. We've been loving it, and I really hope that you do too. But on that note, we are gonna get back to work.
Okay, this is sitting on the toilet right now. I don't know if you can tell, but this is where our toilet's gonna be. This is gonna be the shower, it's gonna be the sink. Yep. So in UMO 1.0, the head was only this big. We came in, it was like shower, toilet, sink, and back here were the two closets we had in the V-berth, the sun and moon closets that Kika made. But we are extending the central bulkhead all the way to the V-berth mattress and getting rid of one of those closets because the other side's gonna have more storage anyway, and moving the head forward a little bit so we can have sort of a full-size separated shower and then a toilet. So now that most of the major bulkheads are glassed in, the salon and the galley, the pilot berth, and the hang locker, we can start working in here. The main one's gonna be this sort of dividing central hallway bulkhead that's gonna run down the center here, and this is why we moved the V-berth hatch, because it's gonna come like about halfway through where the old hatch was, and then down to where the V-berth mattress is. And so we have a little bit of trimming and cleaning up to do. We're going to straighten up the main bulkhead because when they put it in, they just sort of made it a bit bigger because we weren't quite exactly sure where we wanted it to cut down. But now that we know, we're going to cut the main bulkhead down so it's plumb and then trim up some stuff down here. This is our old knot log and depth sounder transducer, and it's right central in the middle of the boat. It doesn't have to be there, that's just where it was, so that's where we put it back. But we're probably going to be removing that and moving it over a little bit to the side of the hull so that this central bulkhead, we're actually going to be glassing directly to the center of the boat, so it's all glassed together, it's not just free floating. And that's going to get glass to the B-berth, glass to the top, glass to the main bulkhead. It's going to be super strong. But we have some cleaning up and some grinding and some trimming and some sanding to do before we can even template that bulkhead.
Wow. So what seems to be the issue?
This is why we build templates and we don't use like jiggle sticks or other sort of methods, because a jiggle stick won't tell you if it will fit back in. But if you can build a full-size template, then you can do a dress rehearsal of how the bulkhead's going to come out of the boat and how it's going to come back in. We're trying to see if there's a way to get this out in one piece so that we can get it back in one piece. And it is
tricky.
being difficult.
But were you able to rotate it?
No, I had to bend it a little bit.
You won't be able to bend the real wood, so.
No. Yeah, I'm not feeling like there's any way that we're gonna get both of these out of here. This would all still be fine. It's like, it's in here. There's no way to stand it back up again once it's in here. The tricky part is that this bulkhead is unsupported on either side, and so it has the potential to like flex side to side because it's the sort of corridor divider between the head and the corridor to the B-berth. We're gonna try to make it stiff by doing a thinner piece of plywood and laminating glass on both sides of it and then putting a veneer of plywood on both sides. But it kind of defeats the purpose if we have to cut it in half. So we might have to come up with an alternative plan. Oh, you know what? We probably don't need to run it down to the bilge. That little corner that we have going down there, if we were gonna cut anything off, we could cut that corner off and just replace it with glass and foam. This little corner section right here, cut it like here, and then here, and then here, and then here, and then like here. I bet if we did that,
It'll fit.
then it's gonna be close. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of bending though.
And then back up to here. Well, but it's also going to be 2 or 3 centimeters shorter on each end because of the foam. So I think that that'll work. And then we'll just infill that little piece that goes down to the bilge, this piece,
and glass the shit out of that, because then it'll be super strong anyway. Because rather than putting like a seam in the middle, that way we still get like our full stiffness.
See if it fits.
I feel like the trick is going to be that it needs to go out. You need to flip it like 180. Yeah, and then it's gonna go slide out this way.
And it's gonna rotate as it goes out. Yeah, that'll be fine because there's no ceiling.
Since this corridor separator needs to be as straight as possible so it doesn't bend in the middle, if we just put some 12 mil plywood up there, it would have a bend in it. If we just use this 20 mil plywood, it probably would have a bit of a bend in it eventually. And so we're trying to get something that's like perfectly straight, but also thick and strong. So our plan is that we're gonna use 2 pieces of 4 mil plywood and 1 piece of 12 mil plywood. So it's gonna be 20 mil when it's done, but we're gonna laminate 2 layers of glass in between. So it's gonna kind of create a core composite structure. The only difficulty with that is we don't have like a lamination table that's perfectly flat, but I think the concrete pad out in front of our container is flat enough. So we're gonna lay a sheet of plywood down.
Ooh, it is windy.
Cover it in plastic, and then do all of our work on top of that, and then put a whole bunch of weight on it to kind of like help it squish down, and then leave it for the weekend. Hopefully we come back to a flat, straight bulkhead. The other thing that we'll do is leave the top probably 15 centimeters without the 4 mil on either side. So that's where we can like glass it to the cabin top and the hull. And then we can fair over that so it's all gonna be unified and smooth, because we're not gonna be putting a hull liner in there. The time is today, and what we have is this. So we're gonna do the best we can. Water is heavy. We need heavy things. Try not to get everything else wet.
All right, so in case some of you are super confused about what the heck is going on here, I'll try to explain a little bit more. So the wall, the bulkhead that we're installing into the head, basically the wall of the head, is bent because that's what plywood does over time. It just has a natural curve to it. The difference between this one and the other bulkheads that we've installed on the boat is that all the other bulkheads go like either hull to hull, or there's a fixed point on the hull and then there's going to be a bunch of attachment points to them. So there's going to be enough points to keep them like straight, versus this one, there's not really any fixed point that it's attached to. So right now, if we put this piece of wood into the boat and even glass it onto the ceiling and the floor, it's just gonna stay curved. So it's not gonna be a flat wall. And so by the time that we install the door and everything, it's just gonna be all messed up. So the solution that we found for this is we're going to sandwich it using that piece of plywood. We're gonna put 1 layer of fiberglass on each side, and then we're gonna sandwich it in between 2 smaller pieces of wood. And also we're gonna put a bunch of weight on it, hence why then it's filling up all the jugs with water. But hopefully by doing this, it's going to help straighten things out, and then the fiberglass, when it cures, is going to hold it into shape. So by the time that we install it on the boat, everything's gonna be nice and flat. At least that's the idea. Now, we don't know if it's gonna work, but in theory, it should work. First side is done. We still have to do the other side of the sandwich, but we're gonna wait a few hours just to make sure that the fiberglass is kicked and dry and cured and everything is flat and good enough to rotate, because like the last thing we want is to rotate it and then everything just goes back to that curve that we were trying to fix.
Yeah.
So,
I think the screws will help.
Yeah?
I think putting so many screws in is going to automatically make it stiffer. But then we ended up screwing all 3 pieces down to the piece underneath as well. So it's like, it's pretty solid. But yeah, it's going to take a while for the resin to get hard enough that we can flip it over. So we're going to go do something else for a while and come back later.
Mm-hmm. Sit, stay, don't fly away. Good.
Several song-filled hours later.
Yeah.
You think it's dry? Look at all the sawdust.
Rock hard. Oh my gosh. All right, it's been a few hours. We had a good siesta, a nice little lunch. We're gonna unwater bucket our little test here, and hopefully it worked. It should be much flatter and much stiffer than it was before already. But we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing to the other side, and then leave it overnight, and leave it over the weekend, honestly, and then come back and pick it up on Monday.
Do you want to just like use it? I mean, we're almost done, so it.
Fucking tray.
Ugh. Well, that was entertaining.
Got it done though.
We got it done. I think it's a successful mission, even if we have like a bit of a drama moment.
Out here in the sun, in the middle of the summer, we're mixing this vinyl ester at 1%, which is like as low as we can mix it. We mixed a liter and we had about 10 minutes before it went off.
It was already curing while I was wiping the stuff on the floor,
Yeah.
so like we didn't have much time. I bet it's already starting to kick.
So that aircon has been worth every penny because we have a lot of glass work to do, and if we could only do like 250 milliliters, like we'd never get anything done. You couldn't actually tab like a whole bulkhead together. So, and for those of you who've asked, no, we can't work at night. The boatyard's closed. It's also kind of a good mental hack because like right now it's hot AF outside, and the coldest, nicest place to work is inside of our boat. So it actually motivates us and encourages us to go to work every day because
it's cooler.
Cool and nice inside the boat. So yeah, it's like a good little mental hack. All right, we're gonna leave that there for the weekend. I hope this goes well. If not, it's just plywood and fiberglass, and it will be a lesson learned that that's not a thing that is possible if it doesn't work well.
You don't know if you don't try.
Exactly. We'll see. And if not, we'll come up with a better plan. All right, that's it.
That's it.
Cut to the solution to our problem. All right. Weekend's over. Did rain a little bit this weekend, but hopefully it didn't mess up our plywood. I'm gonna take the screws out and see how much of it's still potato chips. Hopefully it's straight. It's also been raining about an hour, so I'd love to just leave this outside and let it dry forever, but don't really have that luxury. Of course, the one day we do something outside, it's the one day rain's always. It's not bad. Definitely straighter than it was before. All right, let's move this inside before it rains. Definitely has a little bit of curve to it. Well, it definitely is straighter than it was, and it definitely still has a bit of a curve in the middle. So I'm gonna let it finish drying because the underside still got kind of wet. Maybe I'll lay it down in here, and hopefully when it dries, it has a little bit less curve. I think when we glass it into the boat, if we sort of put some supports in the middle, glass the top and the bottom, let it cure, and then take them out, it probably will take that little bit of curve out. It's maybe 1 centimeter of bow in the middle. And if that doesn't work, well, we'll have to try something else, but it's definitely stiffer. It's significantly stiffer with the glass in there. Like, it's hard to push up against and like get it to bend like it was before. So at least that part was successful. We're not quite ready to put it in the boat yet anyway. We have some more work to do in the bilge and get things ready in the salon, but all right, see how it goes.
Also, quick reminder guys, if you do want to try out Trainwell, make sure you check the link in the description below to make sure you take full advantage of this special discount, and we'll see you next time. Cheers! Somebody's got to do it.